and welcome to the Love MEESH Podcast. I'm your host, Meesh, and it's a billion podcasts to listen to, and the universe guided you right here to this one. I've been podcasting for about 3 years now, so happy third birthday to me. I'm super excited to continue growing and sharing my journey with you. So welcome to my world. Hey, loves, and welcome to another episode of the Love MEESH Podcast. You are hearing the 100% natural sounds of nature. We have the wind and the waves, and I am at the Jacksonville Beach. Now, I remember looking at the news, or I don't look at the news, my parents were looking at the news, and I was like, is that Jacksonville Beach? And the water was so blue. Not blue like Miami, but just bluer than I ever remember. Our dirty groundwater. And either my mom or dad was like, yeah, that's Jack's Beach. And I get out here, and I kid you not, I can see beautiful blue water. The front part is the color that we're used to, but the back part it's blue and pretty. So am I the only one that have noticed that? I mean, is it just me? I remember our water being just so dark and murky and disgusting, but it's our beach, so we loved it anyway. And then going to somewhere like Miami or Mexico, Puerto Rico, shout out to my past, because I have been traveling, honey. Those beautiful, beautiful beaches outdo us 100%. Speaking of vacations, what I realized is we all have trauma and pain, and we either address it or we don't. And we can address it or mask it. We either can heal it or not heal it, I should say. And we either not heal it, which could be masking it with drugs, alcohol, or in my case, I would like to travel, party, have fun, drink, just trying to tap into those happy emotions to avoid the sad and depressed emotions. What I've come to realize is they don't leave, they're there, and until you dig deep and heal them, they will be there, and they grow just like you grow, so they become bigger and bigger, and when different things happen, it's just going to trigger those emotions, and you're going to explode. So something as small as slamming a door that have a million memories and a million triggers to you lash out at someone for slamming a door, and it's not even that deep. So speaking of not being that deep, today's podcast episode is about grief. And this wasn't even on my radar, so I'm just going to flow with the spirit, y'all. My first love passed away 3 years ago. And I didn't make a big deal or say anything about it with my family, just because I've been trying to deal with things on my own, because I've been so codependent on everybody around me. They're probably exhausted, so I'm really just trying to do this life thing alone, and it's kicking my ass. But anything that you do over and over and over, you have no choice but to get better at it, right? So he passed away on May 30th of 2020, right when the COVID shit happened, and he was helping somebody move, and he got COVID, and they put him under the incubator, and he just never came out. I remember hiring a spiritual advisor, Ratchet Oracle 22, Sharita, and she was able to astral travel to the hospital with him in the bed, and she saw his soul in between heaven and earth. And she was saying he's torn between going and staying. Whatever he decides is his choice. And my whole point of sending her there was to tell him to bring his ass back, right? I was like, your son needs you, your sister needs you. Really, I needed him. He was like, we grew up together, and I realized that even though we weren't together anymore, we will always check in and just have these long conversations about life. And if you're a guy, I just be bearing my soul to the guys. My girls, we talk about relationship problems. Well, my sisters, we talk about spirituality or whatever. Or my parents. But I have noticed, because I can get so deep intimately with men physically, I end up getting deep with them in all areas too. I just realized that. But and so I'm over here reading books about emotional intelligence and your body telling you how things are wrong. 2 books, The Secret Language of Your Body by Anna Siegel, and the one that I'm just now reading, Women's Bodies and Women's Wisdom by Christy Northrum, who's a doctor. We're telling you how intelligent every single water, but it might give you dry lips, or it might give you a headache, or whatever. And just not even knowing that, not even growing up knowing that, it's just like, oh my God, we are just so far behind with the human evolution. But as I was reading about the yoni, and I'm going to do a separate podcast on that, so I'll go a little bit deeper into that later. But as I was reading about the yoni and the womb, and it brought me to him. Or not only that, the body remembers things, so my body already remembers when he passed away and how I felt. So all these emotions are still, I feel like sometimes maybe emotions are on a cycle. When things happen to you, the same way winter, spring, summer, and fall, baby, them emotions must be on a cycle as well. So grief and sadness and all that stuff was like surrounding me, and I have no reason to be sad. Like, baby, I left my stressful job, I get to wake up whenever I want. Like right now I'm at the beach. I wouldn't be able to do that if I was somebody's clock right now. I chose me over a stressful ass job. I have another job lined up. I'm just waiting for it to come through. Like, how blessed am I to say, hey, I left one job and another one is like right there. Like, who can say that? And I literally left not knowing what the fuck. Like, I didn't say I'm leaving and something else is here. I just left like something else will come, and it most definitely did. But it led me to this podcast, so I'm gonna just go with it. So before I go into any more, I just want to go over, how we do our podcast recos. So for the local business reco, I want to give a shout out to Hines. He has a Discord called Vibating and Chill. I have the link below. There are so many categories on there, and I really enjoy it, from anime to poetry to music, to yoga to workout. Whatever you're interested in, you're going to find a category. And I think the world has been so superficial and so surface. Like, people are over it. People are looking for a real, authentic, deep, like, realness. So people are bearing out their souls. Like, hey, I don't know what to major in, or like me, I'm gonna quit my job, or my mom, I've always parent my mom, and it's annoying. Just if you just go, I'd be in the vent tab, and sometimes you might not even need to vent, but you could give an encouraging word to someone else, which is me. I'm an encourager. I know that. It just comes naturally. Just learning to encourage myself is my life journey, because I can encourage somebody to not jump off a fucking bridge, but if I stand up there, I don't have two words to say to myself why not to do it. So I'm just working on encouraging myself with the same effort that I do for others. And that has been the theme of my life, even with love. I love others way more than I love myself. If someone asked for $5 and that was all I have, I would give it to them. No, goodness, well, I need to put gas in my tank. So I guess my life lesson is putting me first, which may seem easy to someone else, but it's very hard for me. I had to even step back from everybody to make sure that I could do it, because as long as I'm around people, I'm just naturally a people lover, people pleaser. Well, I think there's a thin line between loving people and people pleasing, and I was on the extreme, to where I may have wanted to stay home and read all day, but here I am, clubbing or whatever. Or the other extreme is I have all these emotions that I never talk about, never journal about, never express. They're just like trapped in my mind and my body. And in order to numb the pain or to not feel them, I'm going to go drink, I'm going to go club, I'm going to go lay up with somebody. So, yeah, check out his Discord, and you'll find all types of people from all over the world, not just America, and you may meet, your tribe. So the next section is video, movie, TV reco. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So on my ex side, I was in a weird place. We had been separated for years. He had got married to this girl, it's so crazy. I didn't do dread. I do dread. Oh my God, so crazy. Hindsight is 2020. So he had dreads. I never did his dreads. He would have to go to this girl house to get her dreads done. And her name was Nisha. Now my name, everybody called me Nisha. So I will always hear this girl's name. She would do his hair, whatever. So they probably had a lot going on, now that I come to think about it. And then there came a point where we were about to get married, and he was like going out of town. I'm like, why you got to go out of town with your homeboy? He can drive by himself. Like, what the fuck? And she was definitely there. So I'm like, okay, so while he is with his girl, what you gonna be doing? Looking at TV? Like, what the fuck? So that's when I think I kind of snapped into it, and reality started to hit. Like, you don't deserve this, or, you know, my intuition is like, bitch, you know, even though you don't know, you know. Like, for all my women out there, that's how it is. It's a feeling. You know how they say a picture tells 1,000 words. Like, you can look at a picture and get so many different meanings. Well, that intuition, it hits you, and you may not know. You know how they say something in the milk ain't clean? That's how intuition be like. It be like, like, you up to something. I may not know, but I know. It's like that. Like how your mama know you doing something and she can't even see you. That's that intuition. But and I don't know why I just wanted to ignore it, or just to keep moving forward or whatever. But when I saw a text message, I guess that was like it for me. Like, this is not how I want my future to be. This is not the man that I want to spend the rest of my life with. This is not shit that I want to put up with. Like, no, it has to be more. And although we grew up together and I went through a lot of stuff, as you grow, you become different. You become different. And one thing my sister-in-law taught me is her and my brother, they go out on dinner dates just to kind of see where they are, you know, check in, so to speak. And I never used to do that. We were together for like 10 years and we never checked in. We just grew, you know, I like this, I don't like this. We just kind of was going through the motion. We were just babies, and that's, you know, hey, you're young, like, you don't fucking know. But I knew that was a no for me. Like, there's no way. But anyways, after we got through a lot of the humps and we were separated, we were just better as friends. Like, I can't even explain it. The only person that I think understands is my auntie. She was married and got divorced, and you would still think that they were married. That's like how close and cool they were, but they weren't. And the love just, it doesn't end, it doesn't change, it's just there. But it's, even though it's not intimate, it seems to be deeper once the intimacy is gone, so to speak. But sometimes I think intimacy can be blinding. Like, I was friends with guys for years, and we never ever were intimate, just talking about life and problems, you know. And then fast forward later, I ended up talking to him, but in the beginning, it was never that. And now I realize I am a talker. I'm a philosopher. I love to discuss religion and ideas and aliens and all the things. So being close with someone in that aspect seemed more intimate to me than intimacy itself, because that can be blinding, you know. You have all these endorphins and chemicals going through your body. Like, a guy can have sex with a stripper, so to speak, and he understands that isn't love. It's an exchange of sex and money. But when you take away the business aspect of it, you think it's more when it's not. Like, you think there's an exchange of love and it's not. It's just, animals do it. It's just, you can. The only way that it will be more than animalistic is on a spiritual level, and I've never had spiritual intimacy with anyone. That's what I want my next relationship to be, by the way. And I'm talking about deeper than tantric. I'm talking about like a divine spiritual connection, where we're gonna have divine spiritual babies and build a foundation and actually be two gods meeting each other, basically. But so I kind of felt alone when he died. Like, all my family came around me, they supported me. I cried my eyes out. Like, my heart broke as if it was my husband and someone called me and told me that he had died. It was just like that surreal. But we were just friends that, you know, that check in with each other every once in a while, like just friends. And so I'm writing this book called Roses and Thorns, and it's taking forever, but it's more therapy for me that I'll end up releasing to the world. And I have to still figure out what I'm going to share and what I'm going to keep for myself. But I think I'm of want to journal and then keep the journal for me and then release the journal with the blank pages for everybody else. So yeah, I'm kind of doing 2 books. One is just for me and then one is going to be for everybody else. But when I was on YouTube and I just typed in my ex died and these 4 YouTubes came up and it was like, oh my God, I'm not the only one. Like, I don't know why I like connection and just to not be the only one, but when people go through something that I go through, and there's a feeling, there's something that happened that I need for whatever reason in my life. And it may be a Libra thing with the whole partnership and unity and family and connection. But when I'm going through something alone, it's so hard. Like, I have to find a tribe, or like, I can't be the only one experiencing this shit. But also just listening to other people that went through the same thing, it's like therapeutic. Like, you can see that they got through it and you can too, or you can know that you're not crazy. So anyways, I have links of 4 people that mentioned that their ex died, and with me being a Cancer and emotional, just hearing their stories, I like felt what they were saying. So yeah, check those out. And the podcast audio reco would be Amanda LaFleur. She said, I didn't know how to explain my grief to my family when my ex-boyfriend died. Now this was on Elephant Journal, and I hearted it and I commented, and I went back in my file and I can't find it. I searched and I can't find it. So I'm so glad I recorded the shit and put it on YouTube, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to explain this to y'all. So when things like that happen, it'd be like, okay, that was an angel or that was God, because how? You know, it's like, did my future self write this and leave it for me to find? Like, so many weird things have been happening, or not weird, coincidence or synchronicities. That's what it is. So you can click on the link below. Where I actually read the article. So I resonated with her too, because she was married. And when she found out her ex, and she was still communicating with her ex through Facebook, like, hey, how you doing, happy birthday, and her husband knew about him and he was okay. From what I've experienced, when I'm in a relationship, guys don't want me to have friends with guys that I've known forever, and I hate that. I remember telling this guy, I can't be friends with you anymore because my boyfriend doesn't want me to. And it had nothing to do with me, it had everything to do with the boyfriend, and I was doing what the boyfriend wanted me to do. When that boyfriend was going to be gone a few months later, and that person had been in my life for 10 plus years as a fucking friend, before the fucking started, because we did eventually end up like that. But it hurt him, and I had to apologize. He actually stopped talking to me for a long time, and then we ended up catching back up after I broke up with the guy. And you know what I realized is, well, my mom tells me this: love a person for who they are, what they have to give. Love a person for who they are right now and what they have to give, and nothing more. And I think I used to put expectations on everybody, and when they shattered, I ended up hurting it's just going to be shattered. Even if you put it together, you're going to see the cracks. Now, in some culture, they say you can fill in cracks with gold, which is amazing. That's what healing is, filling in those cracks with gold. But baby, it's still cracked. You're just putting more beautiful pieces into the brokenness. And I think that's what healing is. It's just putting more beauty into the brokenness. And I think that's why I'm doing this podcast now. Thank you, Spirit. I just got that. There was a lot of brokenness there. There's a lot of grief, hurt, and pain. And by reading, by learning, by growing, developing, I don't know, I've just reached this point where I am looking back and I'm putting beauty where pain used to be. And that's amazing. That's amazing. So yeah, listen to her. Her husband was like, "Are you sad because he gone or what?" Like, he was getting a little upset and stuff. So just her writing that and sharing that with the world helped me. She didn't know that somebody named Janisha in Jacksonville, Florida was gonna really heal from her essay. And so that just encourages me to keep doing my podcast, to keep writing, to release my ebooks, because there are souls out there that are waiting for you. Okay? If you dance, they're waiting for your dance move. If you sing, they're waiting for your song. If you're a Reiki practitioner, they're waiting for you. If you're a yogi teacher, they're waiting on you. Whether you do art, whether you write books, whatever your gift is, people out there are waiting for you, because your gift is healing. That's really what it is. Look at God. Okay. So let me keep on. So the Reiki healing prayer or reco for this podcast will be to those who have witnessed grief, because I've come to understand that love is everything. God is all. Without God, there's nothing. And love is how we express life. And love could be up, down, good, bad, all of the above. But grief is just the other spectrum. It's the polarity of love. So you can't grieve something that you didn't love. I've been through so many funerals, and only a few of them have touched me. It's sad that someone's gone. Somebody's going to miss their dad, brother, uncle, cousin, whatever, significant other, son. But if I didn't know them, it's just like that was the level of sadness that I have. Oh, someone lost them. But grief has degrees, it gets closer and closer to home. Your third cousin died, you don't know. Your parents or your best friend's family member died, you kind of knew them, but it's not so close. And then your family member's person died, and then someone in your family died, and it just keeps getting closer and closer and closer to, it's like an arrow that hits the heart. Just think about what do they call those, a dartboard, and death is like hitting the outer rings, and then finally it hits the center, and it's like, oh, I know grief, but I didn't feel it like this before. And it's just a degree of love. And I also read a quote that was saying, grief is love that has no place to go. Like, you're used to sending that person love, like, hey, how you doing, what's up, or happy birthday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, what you got going on. And when you have no place to send that, you have no place to do that, it's gone, it's empty, there's no return. So that's the grief. And then life will send you, a new place to redirect that energy. But the human life, the human existence is experience. And we can't experience any of this, and we won't know what any of this means without experience. I can tell somebody love, love, love all day, but until they experience love, do they really know it? I can tell somebody anger, anger, anger all day, but until they experience anger, do they really know it? So I've come to the realization that God is all. Without God, there is nothing. That love is how we express life, and that emotions are teachers that visit us until we go to our next. I think Earth is the realm of water and emotions. It is. They call it the big blue ball of water. So Earth is the realm of water. To me, water represents emotions. I have an emotional intelligence wheel with so many different words that explain like 6 emotions. And I feel like every single one of those visits us. Happiness visits us. And there's about 30 levels of happiness, or maybe more, who knows. And in each of those categories, those or some of them are happy. I bundled them into emotions, trauma, and healing. That's why I did the podcast that way. Emotions, trauma, and healing. And it basically, life is happening to you on different realms. Life is happening to you physically. Life is happening to you emotionally. Life is happening to you mentally. Life is happening to you spiritually. So just trying to wrap your mind about, you are living so many dimensions within one. It's just like, and it can be exhausting until you kind of get it, accept it, and So yeah, my Reiki healing and prayer would go to those who have witnessed grief, because my God. Okay, so the music reco would be Lupe Fiasco on Fox Them. I think he wanted to be like on Fuck Them. Like, Lupe Fiasco, yes. Like, I'm going to start to find a lot of conscious rappers, because I've been on my hot girl for too long. And it has not served me well. So, I love, like, consciousness. I love the way he raps in this new CD. I love learning about the pharaohs and the Egyptians and the goddesses and different healing modalities. And I don't know, just like a spiritual. I feel like there's so many versions of me. And I love them all. I really do. I love the hot girl me. If she gets too tipsy, she's going to wild the fuck out. I love the nerdy me. I love the religious me. I love the happy me. The sad me has its place. The angry me is here to protect me. I'm my own motherfucking bodyguard. And I'm just learning to accept all the different aspects of me. But to realize that they have boundaries and they have their proper places. And even the mother in me, and I don't have kids, even the child in me, and I'm grown as hell. So as you're growing, there's still different levels of you that exist, but they have to stay in their proper parameters. So I just can't be a 5-year-old and I'm coming up on 35. Like, I'm not gonna end up being good choices, results, or good life. But I can have my child moments. I can look at anime. I can look at a Disney movie with my nieces and nephews. I can take them skating or to get ice cream. Life is supposed to be lived and experienced, and I'm just so thankful for this time off to do this, because I've been on such a hamster wheel, like trying to avoid this process, like working and focusing on money, or going to school, or working on my degree, or being in a relationship and working on that. It's like God took all of that away. Okay, you got your degree. Now are you ready to listen to me? Okay, you got the job with the high salary. Okay, so now are you ready to listen to me? Okay, you got the boy. Y'all thinking about marriage. Now are you ready to listen to me? And every aspect, I still wasn't ready to listen, and it didn't make me happy. So all of it has been stripped away. It's just me and God, and it's like, okay, this is it. Feeling the wind on my skin. It's life. It's love. It is. It's healing. It's just existing. It's just being. And so many things distract us. Work, bill, that you can't even say thank you for the wind on my damn skin. Thank you for the breath. Thank you for the thoughts. Thank you for other humans. Thank you for this meal. Thank you, body, for functioning for me. Thank you, heart, for pumping. Thank you, brain, for thinking. Thank you, eyes, for seeing. We just get so wrapped up in everything else that we're forgetting to be, forgetting to feel, forgetting to exist. And so I'm thankful for this moment in my life where it's like a reset. I like to call it eat, love, pray. And I really feel like God is about to catapult me. She's going to catapult me into a whole new timeline, dimension, and she just had to get me ready. She had to, reconfigure my mind, my thought, my emotions, my attitude, my love, respect, and honor, so that I can step into this role as a more conscious being, available to give to my sisters and brothers of the planet, as a loving partner to a conscious God, as a conscious, loving mother for our God seeds, angelic beings that we're going to bring here. And I'm just thankful for that reset, because had I been given those things without the codependent, angry, sad, really depressed, just not dealing with shit. So, yeah, thank you. And shout out to everybody that's dealing with grief, because it's a whole lesson in there. So in this book, The Secret Language of Your Body, let me go to grief. She wrote a whole thing about grief. And I have to get another journal, so I haven't journaled yet, so I just have to go to the book and find it. But give me a second. Gotta look through the alphabet for the G. Grief 182 through 183. 182 through 183. Okay. So she said grief. People often feel sad when they feel that they have lost something. Although grief is an important part of healing, when it is suppressed, it can lead to depression, victimhood, self-pity, hopelessness, blame, unhappiness, and sickness. Many experience sadness from the loss of a loved one, a job, an opportunity, their youth, a marital breakdown. Moving to a different country and leaving loved ones may similarly cause grief from feelings of not belonging, isolation, and loss of identity. Sadness and grief must be recognized and expressed in order to heal. Loss can be extremely difficult. Each person deals with loss differently, and though the time it takes to heal may vary, prolonged sadness and grief can keep you focused on the past and limit you from moving forward. Sadness, grief, and loss can lead to sinusitis, pneumonia, frozen shoulders, kidney problems, ovarian cysts, muscular dystrophy, Parkinson's disease, memory loss, lower back pain, carpal tunnel syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome, hemorrhoids, heart problems, anemia, and many other conditions. The process to release sadness. Place your hands on the part of your body where you feel sadness most intensely. Breathe into the area for a few moments while allowing any emotion to rise to the surface with little resistance. Relax your hands. Say, Divine Healing Intelligence, using the orange-red flame of purification, please help me to heal all sadness, grief, and loss. Help me to release all blame, self-pity, confusion, and unhappiness I am carrying. Please dissolve the intense ache, longing, and depression I am feeling. Allow me to gain insight into the hidden blessing of sadness and grief, and to grow wiser and stronger. Thank you. Repeat the word clear several times until you feel lighter. Observe the orange-red light moving through your body, mind, emotions, and energy field, and begin to clear and dissolve all negative thoughts, words, feelings, memories, images of sadness, grief, blame, and self-pity. To bring back feelings of happiness, do the happiness process on page 201. So let me go to 201 to do the happiness. 201, happiness. Say, Divine Healing Intelligence, please shine your yellow ray of happiness into every aspect of my being, energizing, brightening, and revitalizing me. Awaken laughter, joy, and fun in my life. Bring back my optimism, my inner strength, and pleasure. Sweep through every cell in my body, awakening, enlivening, and renewing it. Thank you. Repeat the word clear several times until you feel lighter. Happiness is a choice. Make a decision to welcome happiness, joy, and laughter into your life. Ask yourself, what am I happy about now? Focus on joy, laughter, and fun. Many people caught up in life's problems start nurturing themselves and having fun. They stop nurturing themselves and having fun. Joy, happiness, and fun keep us healthy, energized, and enthusiastic. So start planning fun things to do. Notice in every moment what gives you pleasure, even if you are stuck in traffic or standing in line at the store. So I remember mentioning this to y'all. If you have a chance, you should have The Secret Language of Your Body in your library. Like if you get a headache, toothache, anything, you can pick up that book and it could be your body is talking to you. Your body is an intelligent being that talks to you through pain. or crying, or however it expresses, whatever your body does, it's expressing itself. When you pee, it's telling you we got those liquid toxins out. When you poop, it's saying we got those toxic solids out. You know what I mean? When you cry, I just read that tears are toxic. So let me give you an excerpt from the other book, Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom by Christine Nordstrom. I actually went to sleep reading this last night. I gotta find the tears part. I saw, oh my God, tears are toxic. God, this thing is so big, it's like a Bible. And I don't highlighted so much stuff. Here it is. Thank you, Spirit. Each of us must develop ways to tune into our body's needs. We can start with simple things. When you're tired, rest. When you have to go to the bathroom, go. If you feel like crying when you read certain passage in this book, let yourself cry. If you simply can't read certain parts of the text, notice them. They may refer to subjects that are painful to you. Just make a note of your reactions. Be aware of your breathing as you read. Does it speed up or slow down depending upon the material that you're covering? What is in your heart? What is your heart doing? Is it racing or is it slow? Does reading about the uterus or the mental cycle unearth any old memories of body feelings? Remember this. Only about 5% of our beliefs are conscious and readily available to our intellect. That means 95% of our beliefs reside in the subconscious mind. What we think we believe is only the tip of the iceberg. The rest of our beliefs operate below our radar, influencing our behavior and creating our biology. I don't think that was it. Let me see. Anyway, she was saying crying releases toxins. Crying is your body releasing toxins. So when something happens to you and you cry, it's trying to get rid of those toxins. And then you have to follow that with action. So whatever the person did to you that made you cry, do you need to keep that in your life, or do you need to get rid of it? Because your body did what it was supposed to do, or the body physical level to get rid of it. Now, are you going to do what you need to do to get rid of it out of your physical life? I've never heard anybody say crying is releasing toxins out of your body, and that just kind of like did something for me. Like, oh my God, I literally don't let myself cry, or it builds up so much, and so when I cry, I can't even pinpoint what it is because it's so much. So anyways, yeah, check out those two books. They should definitely be in your library. And I'm only on page, God, I have a ways to go. I am on page 61, and there are maybe 900 pages. Resources, and there are 978 pages. So yeah, let's see. Spiritual teacher mentor Rekha would be Supreme Understanding. I met Supreme a couple years ago. I was not on what he was on. He wanted me to publish for his company. He wanted to meet up with me for my birthday, but he didn't know that I was in Florida. He thought I was in Georgia, and he sent me a cash out for my birthday. He's an amazing young guy, and I didn't even know I was in the presence of a guy. So as I finished his book, because I started it and I just finished it, so much jewels are in there. Like, I am a suburban girl. I only know the suburban life, okay? The only hood I know is the hood in the books that I read. But in his book, he gives the hood knowledge. He went through so much in his life. He was able to elevate himself, and that's how I was seeing a lot of guys. Like, okay, you are a hood guy, but you can elevate. But as my mom says, you have to love a person for who they are right now and what they have to give, and that's it. So I may be looking at the God in them. Maybe because I have future visions, which I do. I have dreams and they come to pass. And that's why it'd be so stressful for me, because I see myself in the future and I'm not there yet, and it's so stressful. I already see myself as a realtor and a mom and all this amazing stuff, and I'm not there yet. It's almost like, oh second part of that was enjoy the journey of getting to your goal. So although I already envisioned myself as a realtor, I'm just starting the process, baby. Step 1, found a broker. Enjoy the process. Celebrate that. Step 2, become a referral agent. Slow down. Celebrate the process. I just be wanting to go so fast. My mom called me, my dad called me Wave. I said, "What you gonna call me, Micro?" He talking about no Wave, because I want things so fast, like microwave. So even just me taking time out of the day to come to the beach to just sit down and listen to the waves and people watch and do the podcast, it's just me enjoying the moment. Okay, so let me see. If you check him out on YouTube, Supreme Understanding, he has a lot to share that can help you on your spiritual. That's why I know I'm about to go somewhere else. I'm about to jump timelines. I am definitely about to jump timelines because the knowledge is coming so fast to me now, and it's like God just cleared my calendar for me to be able to absorb it. And I don't think the job that God has for me is going to start until next month, so I have the whole month to get into these books. But yeah, check out Supreme Understanding. And the next category is book or good read reco. So I was just mentioning that the teacher mentor guide was Supreme, and in this section I also have his book, which is How to Hustle and Win. I finished one. I ordered 4 more on the way, by Supreme Understanding, and I love his book. It's not a Mary Had a Little Lamb book. It's read in my language, like these are the pyramids, and this is information about the pyramid. This is the hood. This is information about the hood, and this is what the government doing. It reminds me of Reza Islam's book, Message to the Millennials, how he just put information in there that you could go research. Do you remember in school your teacher will give you a spelling list, and you have to take that spelling list and look up each word and define it and come up with your own spelling? That's how I am. So when I read Supreme Understanding book and Reza Islam book, they're giving me spelling lists worth of knowledge, and I can write down, things that stick out to me, go research and look them up. Like that is my love language. Books and knowledge and everything, that's my love language. That's my tribe. Sharita called me a librarian, Libra librarian, like duh. I told my mom I'm about to be 35 and I'm just figuring out who I am, and she was like, "Well, look at me, I'm so and so," and I'm like, okay. So my prayer is that I can get these books out and my nieces and nephews can read them and try to get the knowledge faster, because I feel like that's what generations are about, passing down knowledge and wisdom with each generation so that they can go further, a step further and a step further and a step further. So one generation was a slave, the next generation was free, the next generation was able to build income, the next generation took knowledge, and then it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. So yeah, check out his book. And then I also mentioned Women's Bodies Women's Wisdom by Christine Northrup. Like, I literally fell asleep reading that book. As soon as I get home, I'm going to start back on it because it's just filled with so much knowledge and wisdom. I'm going to get a whole journal dedicated to my yoni, and I have an ebook journal coming out about the yoni too. So it's so interesting that I'm up here writing an ebook about the yoni, and then on the side I'm up here journaling with my own, yoni version. So that's why I was saying it's two. It's one that I'm going to release to everybody else, but one that I'm keeping for me too. Kind of hard to explain if you get that. So the quote would be, "I plant roots so deeply in people I love that I always lose a piece of myself when they go." You'll tackle it. And that's kind of how I feel. Like, I understand that everything dies, or not really. Energy is only transferred, it's never destroyed. But as far as the human aspect, I definitely saw his body on the ground. There's a tombstone there. The spirit still exists, but that's not my spiritual gift. I do see him in dreams from time to time, but he's on to the next. And the love that I gave him left with him. So it's almost like, dang, a piece of me left too. So I kind of feel like the more love I keep giving people, like one day my love's gonna leave. And maybe that's how life is. Maybe you are sowing, maybe love is energy, and you're giving energy to people, and you keep giving it and giving it and giving it until one day you don't have any love, and that's Didn't Jesus give all his damn energy and fucking died? Like, maybe that's it. Maybe you give love until you die. You give your love to something else so that it can grow, and then you die. And then it gives it love to something else so that something else can grow, and then it dies. Like, what if? What fucking if? Okay, so the RX laugh is I want to give you a prescription of happiness in the form of a joke. Did you hear the one about the kid who started a business tying shoelaces on the playground? It was a not-for-profit. You get it? That's so cute. And I get those from, what is his name? I get those from the Excellent School, Lewis Howe. He sends me emails, and at the bottom of each email is a joke. And then the podcast reference I have would be my Pinterest on trauma, but I do have a Greek tab. I couldn't get the direct link to Greek, so you're gonna have to pull it yourself. But I'll go ahead and go over those. There's only 17. Emotional books, or for this job I should say, I used to work at Allstate, and you have an insurance number, and she was asking me if it had expired, and I was like, I don't know. So I was looking through my emails. I found my old boss, this is years ago. I found his email, and I was like, hey, do you remember my insurance ID? He was like, no, you can look here. By the time he had responded, I had already found it. I told y'all I'm a nerd. Google is definitely there for a reason. So I was able to find, when you get these licenses, you can always go to the sector of the government where you can research if it's active or not. So I found it, and it's still active. It doesn't expire until next year. So I was able to send that to her. But when it brought up all my old emails, it brought up an email from my ex. And when I read it, I cried. I was like, oh my God, I literally just cried. And I've been working on allowing myself to cry. Because again, it's toxins being released from your body, and just experiencing it. And speaking of toxins, I'm listening to spirits differently now. So this girl, she did a passion flower or Egyptian flower. She did some type of flower. I'll do another podcast on it, where she was purging for 6 fucking hours. And I showed my sister them, and they both was like, this is extreme. I was like, yeah, I know. I just need you to be there for me. Help me keep drinking my water, make sure I'm gonna die, okay? God knows me being so emotional. I haven't purged in so long. I have to get a jump start on this purging, and I have to get it out for God. And the girl said she was puking in on the toilet. So it's gonna come out both ends, but she felt so relieved when she was done and ready for the next level of her life. And I feel like I can keep going the way I'm going, and just let it slowly come out, or I can catapult it. And I just want to catapult it to just get it out, because I know I'm stubborn, and I do tend to hold on, and it might be 3 more years before I get all this stuff out. So if I can do a quick purge, 6 hours, get it all out, that's fine with me. So look that up, and when I end up doing it, I'll do a podcast on it. But I saw an email from him, and I remember he was just checking on me like, hey, how you doing? My ex grabbed the phone from me and was like, don't talk to her, blah, blah, blah. And I just let him and not hurt him. And so when we broke up, I was like, hey, how you doing? I'm sorry for how things were before, I apologize if I hurt your feelings. Let me see if I can read it verbatim. basically was apologizing, and then I was like, please respond. And then his response was, this was December 7th, 2017. And this is how all of our conversations were every single time we talked. It was so, I can't even explain it. Like how my dad loves me, and you know, no man will ever be able to take the love that I have for my dad. It's kind of how I have with him. Like no matter who I love, who I marry, that love, a piece of that love will always be theirs. I don't know if that's the best way to explain it, but it is what it is. And vice versa. Like I used to have to tell him, like, don't say that. Like, you know, you have a whole girl. Like, and if you really love her, marry her. Don't make her wait. Like, you know, encouraging him to be the best that he can for her. Because I already knew. I had come to terms that wasn't my future. And I could still love him and be his friend without him being my future. I had come to that realization. And I really feel like if we were like that, the world would be a better place. You don't have to hate your significant other and wish them death. You can thank them for your journeys, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, and just and remain friends, maybe. If people really were friends, they could do that. But no, they want to have sneaky links and all that other stuff, so it's hard to trust it. But anyways, see how much time I have. This is what he said. I will always respond to you. I just thought that you were never talking to me again because of what your man said the last time I was trying to talk to you. But I'm also sorry for everything that I've said and even done to hurt you over the years. All I ever wanted was to make you happy and to be with you for the rest of my life. I'm still hoping it happens in life. I love you with my heart till the day I die, even after that. I also am still growing too, and I try to do a lot of things different than how I used to. I love you always too. Call me sometimes if we are still friends. By the way, I did feel hurt very bad that I did not get a happy birthday from you either. Okay, now, I deleted a lot of messages. Like, I go through a phase where I block, delete, like whatever. And I probably should have kept those things because they're sentimental, but this is one that slipped through that I was able to keep. But probably if I go on my Google, because I do have another email. I'm pretty sure it's some of my Google email. But this is the Microsoft one. But I cried at the point where he said, I love you with all my heart to the day I died, even after that. And this randomly came up. This is what I mean by synchronicities. The lady asked me for my insurance. I had to go through all my old emails to find it. I came across this at the same synchronicity at the same time of his passing. And I was just like, okay, Spirit wanted me to know, or he wanted me to know that, you know, I still love you, you know? So this is what I wrote. Let me see how much time I have. 5/30/2020 marks 3 years. Happy heaven anniversary. Gosh, you're so lucky. Earth is nuts right now. Everyone is losing it, myself included. Because in losing myself, I found myself, a new version of myself, perhaps the true version of myself. An oak tree seed isn't what it should be until one day it is, right? Since you've been gone, I've taken some time away from life to just self-reflect, grow up, and reinvent myself. Revisit old traumas, listen to their lessons, and heal in solitude all by myself. I must admit, I've always relied on people as my life therapist, never really knowing the answers myself. They would listen for hours and I would feel better. But without knowing myself, I became dependent on people, needing people, even shitty people. While revisiting childhood traumas and trauma in general, you came up. When emotions come up, you feel them, you don't suppress them. I've been reading emotional intelligence books, and wow, I never ever expressed myself. Well, verbally, just through anger or sadness. Blame my cancer moon. I'm sure it was pretty hard dealing with me when you never knew what was wrong because I always kept it bottled in. I probably made it seem like you could do whatever you wanted and it wouldn't bother me, but it did. It killed me time and time again, and I left because if I stayed, I would have died. I came from a loving home and you came from a broken home. My mom and dad have no outside kids. Your dad has an outside kid. Your mom stayed after and I tried to stay. I stayed for you, but it killed my soul. Was angry with me. I stayed as long as I could, but I left. I had to. It was too much for me. I wanted kids more than any woman on earth, and I wanted them with you. Chavez, Jamesia, and CJ. But you gave that gift to someone else. could have stayed, loved him as my own, and you know this. But I didn't realize life gives you 3 loves, and you were just number 1. I never really recovered from that, still crying from that, still dealing with that. I guess hurt helps you know what love isn't. They say death is life's cousin. I say you understand love more once you've experienced her brother hate. All emotions are the same. Love in different degrees. Hot and cold, up and down, right and wrong. Emotions are different labels that we give love. But overall, it's just love. It just is love. I miss you. I do. I miss catching up with you and our talks. My therapist through growth. I pray your son as well and your family. Your pops calls and I can't even answer. He sounds and looks just like you. They say time heals all wounds, but I'm not so sure. The dating life is not it. We had our ups and downs, but it's hard to be to you. The way you can cook and clean and listen and make me laugh, so goofy. And the intimate things, LOL. I miss you, big head. When you told me about the baby, a new version of me was born. Her name was Thorn. She was reckless and angry. When I cheated on you for the first time ever, it was revenge. Maybe you gave me revenge for not giving you a child. I never wanted to be a baby mother. My family worked hard to overcome that generational curse. I also knew a baby doesn't make a relationship work. I also know firsthand how it feels to have a father living and breathing but not home. My mom still hurts after that today. I would never put that on my baby. I was young and scared. We were broke and reckless. A baby would not help that. I didn't know that your body is intelligent, living, breathing itself. When I was pregnant, baby and uterus heard me. They felt me. They took baby away to protect me. I should have protected myself to prevent a pregnancy. I thought I was just lucky. But after losing the baby to an ectopic, my tube shut down. To protect me better than I was protecting myself. I didn't know this then. I know it now. I'm not infertile. My tubes know when to open. To give my parents their first grandchild from me. And she's coming, believe me. All 3, actually, they are making their way back to me. A more mature, knowledgeable, stable, lovable me. Maybe in your grief, you seek to have a child in spite of me, and I forgive you for that. Emotions are just feelings based on memories. Even though I outgrew our intimate relationship, I still appreciated our friendship. Thank you for reminding me how deep our love is after death. I don't want a temporary love. I want one that defies death itself. By this email you wrote 3 years before your passing, and me reading it 3 years after, full circle, huh? That's how life works. Thank you for being my first teacher in love. You showed me what I want in a relationship, and also what will never be acceptable, regardless of how much you love someone. Thank you for showing me how to choose me. I love so much it often hurts me, but I'm important too. I always have to put me first. I found some people who love their ex too, so I'm not alone. We shared 10 years together, we grew up together, we grew apart, and still cared for each other. How many could say that? I thank grief for teaching me its lesson through you, the chosen vessel, because it could have been anyone. It will visit me again is the worst part. So just when I pass all the stages of grief, a new wave will wash over me, and I can't fathom how that will be. I think I push people away now because I don't want to go too deep with their love, that their death breaks me again. Apparently, I'm not finished with all the stages, but I have an understanding. So thanks for living in this crazy place called Earth with me. Thanks for all the good, bad, ugly, and indifference. I have memories of all emotions, happy, sad, and angry. So I'm at the beach, and the phone got hot, and it cut off. That's giving me Wi-Fi. So I was letting that cool down. And then when it came back on, I checked my emails. And your girl got a job offer. But it's sales. So I was just asking her. The last time I was at Blue Cross and Blue Shield, it didn't seem like sales because that's when everybody was required to have Obamacare. So people were just calling in, and I just needed to tell them, how many people was in their family, what was their income, They had like different packages, bronze, gold, you know, whatever. And then I signed them up. So it didn't seem like sales because the people was calling me, okay? It just was how many calls I could get through in the day is what it felt like. And we did get bonus money. So yeah, it was sales, but it was the pressure of sales wasn't there. So I was just asking her like, sales, I'm using my words, I'm using my voice. I'm just asking her like, hey, if it doesn't work out, would you be able to get me with another client? Meanwhile, I am still waiting to hear back from CVS, which is all data. So I'm going to see what she say, but I'm glad that I used my words. Like, I don't mind trying it, but I just want her to know going in, hey, if this is stressful, I'm out because I choose me. So we're going to see what she has to say about that. But let me continue where I left off at. I think I was reading this crazy place called Earth. Okay, I'm going to just start there. Apparently, I'm not finished with all the stages, but I have an understanding. So thanks for living in this crazy place called Earth with me. Thanks for all the good, bad, ugly. I have memories of all emotions, happy, sad, angry, and indifference. Experience give life to emotions, and that's what makes us alive. That's what makes us human. So thanks for playing your part. I've come to the realization that we didn't end just because of a baby. Your actions had nothing to do with me. That was all internal for you. We grew apart in so many other ways too. And me not having a baby was all me. It had nothing to do with you. The way that I love myself, the way that I stand up for myself, the way that I treat myself, it affects my whole body. And if it feels like having a baby at such a low energy level is not good, it will not allow it. And I just learned that how many years later? So yeah, I guess this is closure on the pain because of love, my darling, that will forever stay. Libra gang. So kiss the babies for me. I love you eternal. I love anyone that I've ever loved still. It never goes away. And sometimes it hurts me to leave because I know how painful heartbreak can be. But I choose me. I choose to love myself most because if I can't even love me, then I can't love nobody. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say to my ex-soul at the beach, which is magical to me because it's air and water and earth and spirit. And if you light a bonfire, it'll be fire. But I would love to do that one day. I would love to make a fire at the beach. That would be cool. So the only element that's missing is fire. But when the sun is feeling, baby, that is the fire. The sun is the fire. So yeah, I'm about to go drop my book off to my sister-in-law. I got her some art, do-it-yourself books for her birthday that I'm gonna circle around and get back from me so I can learn how to make my own lip scrubs and stuff. And I'm just excited to continue to live, enjoy this thing called life, experience life, and create. Like, we get so caught up in work, baby. Make time to create. I started making jewelry. I made earrings. I made rings. I want to start making my own clothes. I want conscious clothes. We can't spend so much time working that we aren't living. I don't want to wait until I'm 50 years old to enjoy life. Shit, I'm enjoying life right now. But I do want it to be balanced. So I'm going to make this money, but it's peace. I choose peace. My money got to bring me peace too. And then I have to drop off my laptop to the IRS building. I'm gonna probably have to ask security to call. I'm gonna see if my badge works. If my badge works, I'm gonna drop it off. My badge has been deactivated and security is gonna have to deliver it for me. But yeah, that was today's episode. So yeah, choose you and your relationship. Choose you first and connect with spirit. Choose a relationship that understands you, spirit. Choose a job that understands you in spirit. I mean, everything. It all goes hand in hand. And don't forget to live and experience. Like, we get caught up in things like work and money and babies and family. It's okay to enjoy these things. It is okay to enjoy these exhaust ourselves to no end. Make sure you're able to replenish yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all the leads. But yeah, let me get out this sun because it is baking. Drop this stuff off, give you something to eat, and I'll probably catch up on my X-Files. I haven't watched TV in a little bit. I've been reading, so yeah. And I just want to say thank you, Spirit, for teaching me how to communicate with you, or teaching me how to hear you, feel you, understand you, and allowing me to be able to ask questions and get answers directly from me to you versus through other people. I really had to just push back and stop depending on people and try to figure this thing out myself. I've been doing pretty good, so I thank Spirit for it. And you know what? I see this lady with her daughter. She has to be like 1 or 2. She's a tiny little thing. And Spirit is like, get ready. Get ready. It's so crazy. It is so crazy. Can you imagine hearing God tell you, get ready for the lottery numbers? And then you go play like you normally do and win. And like, oh my God, and tell somebody like, God told me to get ready. That's how I feel. Like, out of all the people at the beach and all these people with kids, I just zoned in on her. And it, I have a feeling, an intuition, an inner voice, like, get ready. Like, I just want to give you a snapshot of you and your girl. Because I'm going to have a girl first. I already know it. I'm going to have a little me and my soulmate. And her name is going to be Shakara. Like chakra. I don't know how I'm going to say it though. Black people got to put out a little twist on things. Shakira, Shakira. I don't know how I'm going to say it, but it's going to be CHA, comma K, comma KA. I mean RA. CHA, comma KA, comma RA. I'd probably say Shakira, you gotta be extra. I heard people say my name in so many different ways. Jamisha, Jamasha, and be like, girl, it is what it is, however you say it. And I think I say Jamisha, but I heard in a song, somebody was like, Jamisha. I'm like, okay, J. And he emphasized the J. And then I eventually just stopped at Misha. And now I say love Meesh. Because everything is love. But yeah, let me get off of here because y'all know I will talk forever. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I hope there was something in here for you. Love on your people, because one day you will not be able to. And I know that we all experience grief differently. Some people grieve the loss of their babies with miscarriage and surgeries and stillborns, or even adult children of all different ages. Some people lose siblings, some people lose parents, aunts, uncles. Some people are adopted, so they already lost people. Some people are in foster care, so again, they lost, like, grief and loss. It's so many different definitions, and it hits you based on your growth, your development, or what you can handle. So I almost feel like we are walking numbers or math equations, and whatever you can handle, that's what's going to visit you. If you can't handle winning the lottery, it's not going to come. So I almost feel like we have to prepare for what we want, because it's not going to come until same thing in life. If you don't have that deposit, you're not getting that apartment. If you don't have deposit, you're not getting that car. If you don't get that loan, you're not getting that house. It's the same thing. Like, there's prep. Not nobody's saying that you can't get it, but there's prep before you get it. So I feel like when it comes to love and relationships, if you haven't done the work, like, Spirit is not going to send you somebody to mess up. And if you do meet somebody and you're not healed, that means that you guys are a reflection of each other. You guys are broken. You guys were sent to each other to force each other to change. Like, life is funny. Coronavirus came it wiped some people out, but it showed the rest of us, hey, do you want to live? How bad do you want to live? You need to make some changes then. Do you really believe this government? Okay, then you need to, open your eyes and realize they're lying. Like, as much as we hate Corona, it served its purpose. It definitely did. But yeah, I guess I will talk to you guys on the next episode. Talk to you later. Bye. It's 7.9 billion people in this world, yet you met me. And that is not by happen chance. It's a divine meeting, and may we guide each other well. If life is a school, what lesson did you learn today? What class did you take today? Did you pass or fail your test or pop quiz? If so, it's okay. Failing allows you to restudy an area that you're weak in so you can try again better than before and pass with 100%. Keep learning, evolving, and spreading love, and I hope you see the fruits of your labor. Namaste, love-a-stay, and always vibe high, babe. Thanks a million for listening. I hope you have a better than great day. Love you. Talk to you later. Mwah.